Alright everyone, and welcome to the start of our F1 2018 career mode. And yeah, this is the first part then of what will hopefully be quite a long run series on the channel then. And yeah, should hopefully take us round to the start of the next game then next year. And yeah, I'm going to kick things off then with the creation of our driver for this series. And yeah, we're going to try and base it off of us if we can. And yeah, we're going to skip through some of this, but yeah, I think the driver I went with was the same one I usually have. I noticed that they seem to have improved him a little bit, made him look a little bit more realistic. But yeah, sort of similar details to what we have been running really. The number 95, same helmet that we've been using. Unfortunately, they didn't have my surname on this, but yeah, we're just going to go with the Scientist then. Couldn't really see anything better to use for it, unfortunately, but yeah, we're going to go with that then. Now the team section, now I haven't said yet what team I'm going to be picking, but I guess there was a little bit of a clue in the channel update that we did, if you saw that, but yeah, we're going to looking through now then all the teams, but yeah, I can tell you then that the team that we are going to be picking for this one is not the one that's on the screen right now. It is going to be Toro Rosso. So yeah, it's a bit different to what I've done in some recent years. I tried to keep it sort of fresh every year. I know that I don't always upload career mode, but yeah, I try and go with a different team each year, and I think I did Sauber last year, and then I sort of did Haas and McLaren in 2016. But yep, settings then, we're going to do I think 50% races, full qualifying for this, and yeah, the AI is going to be on 110. That could be quite difficult early on, but I'm hoping that once we're up to speed that should be just spot right. And yeah, we'll have a few probably challenging races to begin with, but I'm hoping that we can get up to speed and be on sort of on par with the 110 AI by the end. Flashback's going to have them on just because of glitches and stuff, but we will have vehicle damage on simulation. Corner cutting, I'll put on regular for now, but I don't think it'll really make much difference. I mean, obviously I try not to cut corners, but the thing is I don't want like results to be affected too much by like penalties, but I mean I don't think they will be either way. I just wasn't really sure how strict the corner cutting was, but I think it's pretty much the same as it was on the last game tonight, so I'll probably change that at some point. But yeah, I just don't really want the like the results affected too much by it. But yeah, that's pretty much it then. There's weekend tire allocation, but it's now time to be introduced then to some new characters in this career mode.
Thanks for coming by. I'm sure you're very anxious to get out on track. It's taken a lot of effort to get to F1. Congratulations. But the real work starts now. This is...
Claire, motorsports journalist. Nice to meet you. You'll be seeing quite a lot of me throughout the season. So, you had a pretty impressive junior career. How are you feeling about your move into F1? Do you think you have what it takes?
Let's save the questions for a proper interview, shall we? I'm sure you'll have a lot more to talk about once there's been some action on track. I think we could fit you in after FP1 if you're free.
That works for me. I'll grab you the second you finish on the track.
Remember, the relationship you have with the team can be affected by what you say to the media, so be careful. Anyway, it's time to catch up with Carl. He's waiting for you in the data center. Good luck out there today.
Welcome to the data center. Here, we've got access to all kinds of information, including car telemetry, weather, lap times, tyre wear, the list goes on. Plus, we've got a direct link back to the factory, so we're in constant communication with the team there. We need you to regularly feedback about areas of the car that are lacking and help us direct our resources in the most productive way. More effort here equals a quicker car, so it's well worth the effort. Good luck this season. Oh, and make us all look good, okay?
So there you see there then we've got the new sort of media person, and we've also got a new R&D person and replacing I think it was Chris from the old games. And yep, obviously research and development will be a big part of this, and upgrading the car And obviously for us, first season for Toro Rosso with the Honda engine, that's probably going to be sort of our main target really for upgrades. But we're having a look through our emails now then, and yeah, just having a look through it. Our expectations for the season, obviously, they're not really too high because, sort of as I say, sort of first season with the Honda engine, it's probably going to be a tough one for the team, and they normally midfield anyway, so yeah, probably not expecting a lot from this season. But yeah, certainly hoping to be progressing up the field as the season goes on. As yeah, we're looking at the weather now then, it's luckily going to be a dry all the way through then by the looks of things, certainly for qualifying and the race. But yeah, we're going to look now then at the R&D tree, and yeah, as I was saying, we're not too bad really on terms of chassis, can't even talk now, why can I not say that word, chassis and aero. But yeah, we're not too bad on those, but the engine we're quite a bit off, well, not too far off actually from Renault. Honda have made some good progress, but yeah, we're still the worst engine on the grid, so we are going to be putting some work into that early on, and also getting some quality control upgrades in as well. I also did do a durability upgrade, which I don't think I showed here on the screen, but yeah, we'll have that from Bahrain onwards. And I think I put up a couple of those quality control things in the end for the engine, just to make sure that, well, just to try and make sure that we're not getting too many failures, because I think that's sort of an area that we need to try and develop quite quickly. But yeah, on then to the first practice then, our first laps on track then in this Toro Rosso, and didn't feel too bad actually, because we managed to get a perfect score then in the track acclimatization, so that was a nice start to the weekend there then. And yeah, on to the fuel saving program now then, and it's quite encouraging to see here that we did have some good times, so it does look like the difficulty is around about where we should be then, and I actually had to lift there before the line just to get into the purple, but we do manage to pass that one then, so that's good. Now then, on to the ERS management, and this one I really struggle with quite a lot, and I think a lot of people are actually struggling with it from what I've seen. But yeah, it's just so difficult to sort of maintain like the speed they want you to, because obviously like you've got to turn up the ERS to get some good lap times, but then you do that and it just goes straight into the red. And yeah, I made a bit of a mistake on that lap going into I think turn 13, and that really sort of ruined the lap. And you can see that we did manage to sort of do some good management there, but our time was a few tenths off, so we failed that one unfortunately. But yeah, I was having quite a lot of trouble with that one compared to the other programs, as we're doing a tyre wear program now then, and once again we're in the purple, certainly for tyre wear. And yeah, just setting up our ERS to the line there then to make sure that we do beat the time. And yeah, we've got purple then in 3 of the challenges so far, well, the programs that is. And yeah, that is it then for first practice. We're bottom at the standings, but I mean, we were sort of just jumping through hoops really in that first practice session, just to make sure we got the R&D points. And yeah, here's our first interview.
Good day today. Tell us about it from your perspective. It's been a lot of hard work, but here you are making your debut in Formula One. You must be thrilled. So how are you finding things at the team? Are you settling in? What are you expecting out of this season? Are you just aiming to find your feet in Formula One, or do you see something more? Appreciate your time.
Moving on now then to second practice, and unfortunately the race strategy program didn't really go to plan here, because our teammate Gasly sort of got in our way a little bit here in the final sector, just as we were sort of on course to try and get a purple. And yeah, just so much dirty air in this final sector sort of tucked up behind our teammate there, and it really sort of hurt our time as we were on course to, you know, beat the Delta again there. And unfortunately that meant we couldn't get the purple for that session, unfortunately, and we once again bottom, but obviously just going through the practice programs at the moment, so yeah, it's not really too much of a worry for us. But on to the final practice session now then, and just the qualifying practice to go now then, the qualifying program that is. We do manage to beat the green lap time then, but yeah, you sort of have to charge your ERS up again to actually be able to go for another lap, and yeah, that's what we had to do then, to go for the purple lap time. But unfortunately a little bit too wide through turn 1 there, and we end up out onto the grass, and yeah, that was our first mistake of the weekend there then, and yeah, that was also the end of that program and of practice in general for us then. So yeah, overall I don't think it was too bad. As we see there, we're 12th at the end of final practice, and not too bad, not too far off of our teammate either. So yeah, some encouraging pace then, and I think we can only go up from here. So yeah, it's not really too concerning, I don't think. But on to Q1 now then, and yeah, we're going to come across the line then for our first lap time, and yeah, we cross the line then. We go third, but not many people setting the time. We were ahead of Sergei Sorokin though in the Williams, so that was good to see that we were at least not at the back then. And yeah, on to our next lap time, which wasn't really that much better, but it was actually really close though. It's the Delta. We set some consistent lap times here, and yeah, unfortunately we were down to 19th by that point, so yeah, it wasn't really going too great for us. And then this is our final lap time now then, right at the end of the session. We're about to start it now, and I really don't think I did the best job here of making some space, because I had Stroll right behind me, and yeah, it's quite hard to do the lap with like someone right behind me. It sort of really put the pressure on, and you saw it there. We sort of made a bit of a mistake through the first corner. Now down to turn 3, had to turn the ERS down here because you don't quite have enough to actually do the full lap on the higher settings. You'll sort of run out just before the line, so yeah, you sort of have to turn it down a bit even on your flying laps. So yeah, you sort of have to try and work out where you can sort of like afford to turn it down a little bit, and then obviously turn it back up afterwards. I have found out since then, or I've certainly seen people say that overtake works better in the higher gears than hot lap does. So obviously, if that is true, then I'll be doing that from like the future episodes. But yeah, I didn't really know how that worked at this point when I was recording this. So yeah, we're just gonna go with it for now then, and yeah, see where it gets us. But once again, we make a mistake there. So yeah, this final lap really didn't go to plan, unfortunately. I was hoping to sort of move up the grid a little bit, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case now then, as we've made quite a few mistakes on this lap, and I think just again, just not really timing it too well with the Williams just behind us there, sort of putting the pressure on a little bit. As we cross the line then, we stay in I think 19th position, so not really what we wanted, but I mean, at least we're not last, so that's something, I guess, to take away from this one. And yeah, our teammate didn't make it through the other end, so it wasn't like dreadful for us, but there was quite a bit of a gap there in terms of lap time. So yeah, so, oh, I was looking at it wrong. Gauzy did get through in the end, so yeah, I wasn't looking at that properly. So yeah, he did get through to Q2, my bad. But yeah, as I was saying, though, it can only get better from here, and yeah, at least we've got something to work towards then. Obviously playing up on 110 AI, as yeah, a little bit of a decrease in reputation, but not too much there. And yeah, we'll have to see then what we could do from 19th on the grid in the race. So here we are then for race day in Melbourne, and yeah, this is the start then of the 2018 Formula 1 season, and this is what all the preparation and build up has been leading up to now then. And yeah, we're just moments from the start of the first race of the season, and of course our first ever Formula 1 race then. And yeah, what can we do then from the back row of the grid? It's obviously not where we want it to be, but as I said, we can only improve from here. And yeah, we've got a chance now then to sort of try and enjoy the first race. We haven't really got anything to lose, and yeah, we'll see how far up the field then we can make it today. Points could be a long shot, but you never know in Australia. Obviously the team's still learning, it's the first race of the season, so anything can happen, and we'll see what we can do then from down in 19th place. And yeah, we're going to have a look now then at a full rundown of the grid. And yeah, starting on pole then, it is the champion from last season, Lewis Hamilton, and his nearest challenger from last season, Sebastian Vettel, in second. Then we've got the two Finns on row 2 there, with Verstappen up in 5th place, and looking further down, Alonso back into the top 10 then with McLaren in 9th. And yeah, there's our teammate Pierre Gasly in 13th. Ricciardo taking the grid penalty, he just never has any luck in his home race. And two rookies then, us and Sergei Sorokin on the back row of the grid. And yeah, obviously hoping for better in the race then. So here we are then on the grid for the start of the race then, but we're having a look at our strategy first. And yeah, it's going to be a one stop then. I imagine some people nearer the front will have to do 2 stops, so we could sort of use this to our advantage then, starting on fresh tyres. And yeah, it should be an interesting race then if we're doing one less stop than some others. But yeah, we're getting rained out then for the start of the formation lap, and yeah, try and get a good launch here then to try and prepare ourselves for the real thing in a moment. And yeah, off we go then. And yeah, not the best launch there, but obviously still getting used to the car, and yeah, we'll hope for better then once we actually get going properly. But yeah, coming to the end of the warm-up lap then, the front runners starting to line up on the grid then, and they'll be trying to bunch things up as much as they can here then, to avoid sitting on the grid for too long with the engines overheating. But yeah, we're going to be one of the last ones to the grid then, in 19th place. We're going to be starting on the clean side of the grid though, so we'll try and use that to our advantage at the start. And yep, here we are then, line up on the grid now then, and the lights will be going on any moment now for the start of our first race then, as we've got lights coming on now. Away we go then, and it is not really the best start for us there then, but Sorokin behind us didn't have a great launch either then, so we're sort of both a little bit left behind and into turn 1. We brake quite late there and almost get sandwiched there between the two Saubers, but yeah, luckily we get away with that one then. And in fact, it looks like we may actually be past Stroll, but he's coming back with us then down towards turn 3 then, and he's on the inside. We've sort of been boxed in here a little bit, and he's gonna got the inside, but then we get the inside line for turn 4, and it looks like we're actually through past Stroll then into 18th position with the two Saubers right in front of us then. And yeah, we'll see if we can get either of them up towards turn 6, I think this is, but no, we weren't quite close enough to Ericsson there. And looks like we've actually managed to put a bit of a gap on us there. And yeah, in towards this right hander of turn 9, we're up the inside of Ericsson. Quite late there, we make a bit of contact, but we're thrown into 17th position then, so managed to gain another position there then, but already a little bit of a gap forming in front of us then. But it's all still very close, so we should be able to catch them back up there then if they're all squabbling. But we're very wide there out of turn 12, and now I think that's going to allow Ericsson to get back onto us then. And we're going to have to go defensive in turn 13, and we managed to hold on to the position for now then. But yeah, we're going to skip now then to the next lap then, where we're still in behind Charles Leclerc then, also on his first ever Formula 1 race then. And we've already got a yellow flag up in front of us, so someone has already had a problem then, only a lap and a half into this race, and it is the Haas there of Kevin Magnussen out of the race already then. So 2018 has got off to the worst possible start for him then, and he is out after only a lap and a half here in Australia. And yeah, that's sort of, I don't think I really allowed Leclerc to get away then, but he certainly was a lot quicker than us in that second sector. And there's actually yellow flags out, and there's someone going to stay there. It's in fact the Red Bull of Max Verstappen then, the only Red Bull that started in the top 10, and we saw the green flags there and launched at the inside of Leclerc. But he's on the inside for the final corner, and he's just going to run us out then. And yeah, we were always going to struggle on the outside, but we've now got to go defensive from his teammate then in the other Sauber. It looks like we may just have hung on to it, but Ericsson's certainly going to look for it into turn 1. But yeah, we managed to hang on and I think just about avoid contact there. But yeah, certainly a very close battle there already with our fellow rookie. And yeah, into turn 3 now then, we maintain our 15th position. On to lap 3 though, and there's contact again up in front of us. I think that may have been our teammate Gasly there who was involved in that one. I think it was Perez who ran into the back of him there. So it's all kicking off then in these first few laps of this new season, and I think it is indeed Perez with damage there, because he's very slow out of that, well, through turns 11 and 12, which is normally very fast, as he's having to go a little bit defensive there from Leclerc. we used that to try and dive it inside, and yeah, we managed to get through. So we've made contact with both Albers so far then in this race, but we've managed to overtake both of them now then. And yeah, Perez so slow here then, and yeah, unsurprising then we do see him peel off into the pit lane then. And yep, a very eventful start to this race as we have a look back at what's gone on so far then. And yeah, we see a replay of the start. As you saw there, wasn't really too great from either us or Sirotkin there on the back row of the grid. But yeah, we brake quite late, make a little bit of contact I think with both Sauers in fact going into the first corner, but we do manage to sort of go around the outside of Stroll in turn 1 and then get the inside for turn 2. He then of course has the inside for turn 3, but we're sort of both bunched in here then behind the field. And yeah, later on then we see Magnussen slowing down with that problem, and in fact Fernando Alonso runs into the back wing and damages his front wing as well. So yeah, he's going around with damage by the looks of things then, as we see Magnussen pulling off there then in the Haas and his race over already then. And Verstappen then around about that same time just randomly got a puncture. So yeah, he was nothing to do with the Magnussen incident then. And yeah, his tyre just went after, well, less than 2 laps of racing. So very surprising there that happened. And then on to lap 3, and we did indeed see Perez then run into the back of Pierre Gasly. So yeah, it's all kicking off then in these first few laps. But yeah, as we saw, Alonso did have damage, and now he is under pressure from Gasly then, and also us burst catching right up to us then. Obviously Alonso slowing the field up a little bit, and Gasly right around the outside then of Alonso into turn 13, and Alonso trying to hang on, but he's not able to do much with that damaged front wing. And yeah, Gasly then through and into 12th position, and yeah, we'll try and follow him through if we can, because yeah, that McLaren seems to be certainly struggling with quite a bit of front wing damage though. But he didn't pit, so that was a bit surprised because we saw Perez did. But yeah, Alonso trying to hang on then with that front wing damage, but yeah, he seems to be losing so much time though, as we're closing up to back now then, and he'll hate to be seeing 2 Honda powered cars overtaking him, as he's quite late on the brakes though, and actually manages to get to the corner in front of us, and we were quite lucky there to not spin him round or get any damage there. So yeah, he managed to still brake very late though, considering that front wing damage, and stopped us from getting through there. And in fact now Leclerc has got a great run on this then out of turn 10, and he's going to just breeze past us then. And yeah, some improvements to the Ferrari power unit this season, and you certainly saw them there, as Leclerc is back through then into 13th position in this race. And yeah, we'll see then if he can get past Alonso, as we see Raikkonen is in for a very early stop there, and he's now behind us. And yeah, so that's a bit of a surprise. He'll probably be past us quite quickly then. And then we randomly get blue flags for some reason, and we've lost a position there for some reason as well. I don't know what that's all about, but Leclerc is now going around the outside of Alonso then into turn 3, and through he goes into well, it says 12th position, but I'm pretty sure it's 11th, as Alonso is going slow there in turn 4, and that meant that we ran off the track there to avoid him. But yeah, we didn't get anything from it, so it's alright. But yeah, we really need to get past Alonso here, because he has certainly got some damage, and it's really affecting his lap time. Then well, it's affecting us then if we're not being able to pass him. But yeah, Raikkonen is now out of the race then, so I don't know what that was all about. But yeah, he's pitted and now he's out of the race then soon afterwards. But yeah, back to this then, we really need to get past Fernando Alonso here. And yeah, we're going to have DRS in this new DRS zone for this season. And we're going to go to the inside then. Look at the speed though. Has some good speed there, to be fair, in the Honda engine, which hasn't always had in the past. But yeah, we managed to fly past, and then probably he was saving his ERS there, to be honest. Maybe he knew that the position was lost. But we see what happened to Raikkonen now then, out of the pits then, just behind us. And then he's through turn 2, and then he's back in the pit lane. And I mean, what? Really? Co-Masters? Really? I mean, it is just unbelievable really that this kind of stuff still happens, isn't it? I mean it's only like the 10th game they've released now in this series. And yeah, that happened then. And Kimi Raikkonen is out. So I mean, that's a pretty normal weekend then for Raikkonen, really. It's typical of his luck, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, Cody's once again, just incredible game. So yeah, Gasly then pits before us by look to things, and that moves us up then into 11th position in this race, and we actually move up to 10th place then because Sainz pits as well then in the Renault, and yeah, obviously he started inside the top 10, so he probably, well, so it's not really a surprise that he's pinned before us, and he's running outside then on the soft tyres, and yeah, looks like he's through then. Wasn't really much point in us fighting that one too hard, and yeah, he is through then and into, well, back up into the points positions then, and yeah, we're just going to try and hold on to these super soft tyres for a little bit longer then, and go on to a fresher set of soft tyres near the end, well, to the end of the race then. And yeah, we've got Hulkenberg then just come out of pits in front of us then, and on that tyre angle then through turn 1, it looks like we may have a chance then of overtaking him, but yeah, he manages to hold on for now then, but we have got DRS then. We go up to overtake then, and Rotary inside is so close and so nearly contact there, but it looks like actually running outside then in turn 4 we've just about managed to pull it off then, so we're up into, or back into the points position then, but obviously he's probably going to repass us quite quickly here then, and into turn 6, is he going to do it? Not quite, is he? Well, he was always there running outside to be fair, but couldn't quite make it stick, and yeah, he's all over the back of us now then, but yeah, it's obviously quite tough to sort of pass sort of in the second sector at Australia, and yeah, I thought he might have a bit of a better run there to be honest out of that corner, but yeah, it didn't really work out for him there, and yeah, we managed to stay ahead, but yeah, he tried to pass running outside of turn 11 and just lost himself time there, so that was a bit pointless I guess, but yeah, a bit later on I think in that same lap he's going to catch us back up now then, and yeah, he should get it done this time then, as I think we've got Ricciardo in the pit as well then, so we stay in 10th place for now, but yeah, Hulkenberg through then and into what is now 9th position, but yeah, it's lost in quite a bit of time there actually to his teammate, sort of yeah, being stuck a bit behind us, as we think about having luck up the inside, but yeah, we just weren't late enough on the brakes there. Our tyres are quite old at this point and we'll be coming in quite soon, and in fact we'll be coming in on this lap then for our one and only pit stop in this race, but in 10th place, but yeah, we'll be dropping obviously a few places down from that once we've been in, as yeah, Hovenbrook quick stop then. In fact, Gasly has already gone past then, so we've really lost quite a lot of time here to be fair to him, and yeah, it seems that we're sort of still quite way off his pace unfortunately, but yeah, we've got a lot of time then to try and work on that, and another thing I should mention that I don't have a setup at all for this race, and yeah, from Bahrain onwards I should be using some setups and trying to find something that works better for the car. But yeah, we rejoin them with Alonso just behind us then with what I assume is now a working front, well, a fully fitted front wing I guess, but yeah, he's running outside in turn 3 but couldn't quite make it stick, and we maintain 14th for the time being, but we're out of shape there then, and he may have looked around the outside of turn 5, well, that would have been incredible if he could have passed there, but yeah, he's not going to quite do it there, but he has got a good run now at turn 12, and yeah, we're going to have to go defensive then towards turn 13. Is he going to run the outside? He's going to certainly give it a go, but yeah, we just about managed to hang on, and I think yeah, we've just about held on to that then, as we've got Sorokin in the pits then, so yeah, hopefully he should be behind us then when he comes out. He should be, because he was a few seconds behind us I think when we pitted, so yeah, we do thankfully stay ahead of him then, and yeah, Alonso then ran outside into turn 1, and in fact this time he has managed to make it stick then and go up into what is now 13th position, and what with Sorokin pitting as well. We're going to try and have a look then around the outside, but we just weren't late enough on the brakes there then, despite having the race in line, and yeah, he's going to maintain that position then, and yeah, it'll probably pull away from us at this point, because the McLaren does seem to be faster than the Toro Rosso, and it does have the better engine as well now then, as our teammate is actually in again then at this point. I thought he must have had some damage to have come in again, but I had a look and he didn't. He just for some reason decided to go with a two-stop strategy for this race, and I'm pretty sure he started on the super softs and then went to another set, so I was a bit surprised that he did that to be honest, and yeah, it didn't seem to have worked out too well for him, unless he can catch us back up again in these final 10 or 11 laps that we've got then, as we skip then to The next up then, we've got Ocon out of the race now then, so that actually moves us up to 12th place then. So yeah, actually not too far off the points at this point then. So yeah, there's Ocon then out of the race just before turn 3. And yeah, we're going to look at a replay now then. And yeah, engine just blew going into first corner. So yeah, a bit surprising to see a Mercedes engine fail at the first race of the season. And yeah, maybe their dominance is really starting to possibly end here then in Formula 1. But yeah, still very early days. And yeah, it's getting on into lap 25 of 29. Nearly at the end of the race now then. But the other Force India, Perez, then after that front wing damage early on, is now catching up to us then for 12th position. And yeah, it'll be tough to hang on then with this Honda engine, but we're going to try and give it a go, as we've only got a few laps to try and hang on now then. And yeah, he tried to look running outside in turn 3, but yeah, we managed to hold on to that one then. And yeah, we're skipping then to later on in the lap where this is going to be his other great chance then with DRS towards turn 13, but I don't think he really had the best run there though. But he's going to have a look then running outside. We're just going to keep on defending that inside line. We're side by side, but yeah, we just about managed to hang on with the inside line there and squeeze him out. And yeah, we're still then in 12th place with only a few laps to go. But we do get blue flags now then, and it just goes to show the gap that the well, the front teams have to, well, the rest of the midfield, that after only 27 laps they're already coming around to lap us. So yeah, I'm not going to move over till Perez moves over though. So yeah, we're just going to sit here for the time being, and Perez does move over there, so that does take the pressure off us on this lap. And what it does mean though is that we've only got just over a lap now then, because we'll be obviously finishing next time round having given up this lap now then to Vettel. And yeah, 3 goes then, and obviously we can use DRS now then to yeah, get a bit more speed then on this final lap of the race. So that is obviously very good for us then, as we're on to what is now our final lap of the race. And another good thing though actually was that we could put the fuel mix up now then, obviously because we have a lot less to worry about. And yeah, we can really sort of try and turn things up a little bit then to try and hold on to this position. And yeah, Perez used a lot of time there trying to get around the outside in 10-11, so that has probably taken the pressure off us now then. And yeah, we can save our ERS then to yeah, maybe go for one final push to the line if we need it, but I don't think we will. And looks like for our first race in Formula 1 then, we're actually going to be up in 12 positions. So yeah, it's a lot better than it was looking out of the qualifying, I have to say. And we're going to come to the line now then, and it is indeed going to be 12th position here then in Australia. So yeah, a slow result then I guess, and no points, but we managed to beat our teammates, so that's something. And yeah, the final results then, Sebastian Vettel taking the win then in Australia for the 2nd year in a row. And it's once again Lewis Hamilton 2nd and Valtteri Bottas in 3rd. Ricciardo then from 15th on the grid, put on a great show for the home fans to get himself up into 4th place there, with Sainz a very impressive 5th there, and Verstappen recovering from that puncture to get 6th. So possibly driver of the day from him there then. And yeah, it's obviously I think a contest there between the 2 Red Bull drivers for driver of the day, although shout out to Charles Leclerc as well on his debut, getting 10th place in the Sauber, and Stoffel Van Dorn also getting points for McLaren in 9th. And yeah, 3 retirements then: Esteban Ocon, Kimi Raikkonen and Kevin Magnussen. And yeah, so out of the 17 finishes then, we were up in 12th, so really not too bad. I know some people had incidents and the wrong strategy I guess, but yeah, still a very respectable result I think, given that we didn't really have a lot of pace. But yeah, obviously the standings are the result from this race, in the drivers at least. And in the constructors, Mercedes have the lead, and it says we're at the bottom of the standings, well, Toro Rosso are, but I'm pretty sure that's wrong, because we finished ahead of both Force Indias and both Williams, so there's no way that we could be bottom of the constructors, so that is wrong. I'm pretty sure we're at 8th, and yeah, as you can see, we are ahead of both Force Indias and both Williams, so yeah, there's no way that that can be correct. So yeah, we are in 8th place in the constructors, so yeah, just ignore what that said on there. But yeah, the rivalry then, we were behind in qualifying, but we're well, I think we were even actually in the race, so we are still just about losing that then, but it is very close. And yeah, closer than I thought it was going to be actually after that first race. But yeah, this is it then for the first race pretty much, and yeah, we've got some nice resource points there. Reputation increased a little bit, and yeah, sort of sportsmanship championship is still pretty much in the middle there. We didn't have an interview after the race, which was a bit odd. I thought that was going to be the case. I thought that we had interviews after every race, but I guess not. And yeah, I think we're getting invitations now then for the classic cars. I'm not going to show that in this episode. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to show them sort of at the end of the season. I think I'll do like a bonus episode, like at the end of the season, showing all of the classic challenges that we've done throughout the season. So yeah, look out for that sort of bonus episode at the end of each season, and that will be sort of like when we go through like all the invitation events we've done. But yeah, I hope you enjoy this first episode of Career Mode. It's been quite a long one, I know, but yeah, we sort of had to sort of introduce a lot of things in this one, so yeah, it was always going to be quite a long episode. And yeah, I hope you enjoy it nonetheless. And yeah, we'll be looking ahead now into Bahrain, hopefully for a bit more of an improvement in pace, but yeah, hopefully another exciting Grand Prix. So thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed this one. Leave a like if you did, and I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.